The Keeper, unleashing the chaos within. Once upon a time, in the heart of the verdant African savannah, nestled a village like no other. This village, known as Ubuwakhe, was a place where the threads of ancient traditions wove seamlessly with the daily lives of its people. Majestic baobab trees stood sentinel around the village, their ancient limbs reaching towards the heavens as if in a perpetual act of worship. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming acacia flowers, and the melodious symphony of birdsong created a serene backdrop to the bustling activity of the villagers. Amani, a young girl with eyes that sparkled like the stars and a heart brimming with curiosity, was unlike any other child in Ubuwakhe. From a tender age, she had been drawn to the stories of old, tales whispered by the elders around the evening fires. It was in these stories that she first heard of the Keeper, a guardian chosen to protect a mysterious key capable of unleashing great chaos upon the world. The day had come for the village elders to select the new Keeper, and as the sun cast its golden glow upon the village, the air buzzed with anticipation. Nokutala, the revered village elder known for her wisdom and mystical insight, gathered the villagers in the central clearing. Her voice, as timeless as the wind rustling through the grass, began the sacred ceremony. Amani, Nokutala intoned, her voice carrying the weight of generations, you have been chosen by the spirits to become the new Keeper. You are to guard the key with your life and ensure that its power remains contained. The spirits have spoken, and they have seen your heart. You are brave, curious, and pure of spirit. Amani stepped forward, her heart pounding in her chest. She bowed her head respectfully and accepted the intricately carved wooden box that contained the key. The box was adorned with symbols of protection and warding, and it felt both heavy and light in her hands, as if it contained a world of its own. Thank you, Nokutala, Amani said, her voice steady despite the whirlwind of emotions inside her. I will honor this responsibility with all my heart. The village erupted in a chorus of cheers and blessings, and Amani felt a warm glow of pride and determination fill her. She knew that her journey was just beginning, and that she had much to learn. Over the following weeks, Amani immersed herself in her training. Nokutala taught her the ancient rituals and chants that would help her control the power of the key. She learned to read the signs in nature, to listen to the whispers of the wind and the songs of the birds. She spent hours meditating under the baobab trees, seeking the guidance of the spirits. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Nokutala led Amani to a secluded clearing deep within the forest. In the center of the clearing stood a stone altar, covered in ancient symbols that glowed faintly in the twilight. This is where you will receive your final lesson, Nokutala said, her voice hushed and reverent. Tonight, you will meet Unveiling, the guardian spirit of the forest. She will bestow upon you the knowledge and strength you need to fulfill your role as the Keeper. Amani knelt before the altar, her heart racing with anticipation. She closed her eyes and began to chant, her voice rising and falling in a rhythmic cadence. The air around her grew thick with energy, and she felt a presence approaching. A soft, ethereal glow enveloped the clearing, and Amani opened her eyes to see a figure emerging from the shadows. Unveiling was a vision of grace and power, her form shifting and shimmering like a mirage. She had the face of a wise elder and the eyes of a curious child, and her presence radiated warmth and strength. Welcome, Amani, Unveiling said, her voice like the rustle of leaves in the wind. You have shown great promise and dedication. The spirits have chosen well. But your journey is far from over. The key you guard holds great power, and there are forces that seek to unleash the chaos within. You must remain vigilant and strong. I understand, Unveiling, Amani replied, her voice steady. I will protect the key with all my heart and soul. Unveiling nodded, her eyes filled with pride and warmth. Very well. I will grant you a gift to aid you in your quest. She reached out and touched Amani's forehead, and a surge of energy coursed through her body. You now have the ability to communicate with the spirits of the forest. They will guide and protect you on your journey. As the weeks turned into months, Amani grew stronger and more confident in her abilities. She could feel the presence of the spirits around her, guiding her steps and whispering secrets in her ear. She felt a deep connection to the land and its inhabitants, and she knew that she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. But even as she embraced her role as the keeper, a shadow loomed on the horizon. Esu, the trickster god, had been watching her progress with keen interest. He was a mischievous deity, known for creating chaos and disorder wherever he went. And he had set his sights on Amani and the key she guarded. One night, as Amani sat by the fire, Esu appeared before her in a swirl of smoke and laughter. He was a tall, lanky figure with a sly grin and eyes that sparkled with mischief. "Greetings, Amani," Esu said, his voice dripping with amusement. "I see you have taken on quite the responsibility. The keeper, eh? How noble of you." Amani stood her ground, her eyes narrowed in suspicion. "What do you want, Esu?" "Oh, nothing much," Esu replied, his grin widening. "Just a little fun. You see, I've grown quite bored with the order and tranquility of this village. I think it's time for a little chaos, don't you?" "I will not let you harm my village," Amani said, her voice firm. "The key is safe with me." Esu chuckled, his laughter echoing through the night. "We shall see, little keeper. We shall see." From that moment on, Amani's life became a whirlwind of challenges and obstacles. Esu's influence could be felt everywhere, from the sudden storms that ravaged the crops to the strange creatures that began to appear in the forest. Amani knew that she had to stay strong and vigilant, for the sake of her village and the world. One day, as she was patrolling the outskirts of the village, Amani came across a group of villagers who had been attacked by a pack of wild animals. She rushed to their aid, using her knowledge of the forest and its spirits to calm the animals and heal the wounded. As she tended to the injured, Amani felt a familiar presence approaching. She looked up to see Unveiling standing before her, her eyes filled with concern. "Amani, the chaos is growing stronger," Unveiling said, her voice heavy with worry. "Esu's influence is spreading, and the key's power is weakening. You must find a way to restore balance before it's too late." Amani nodded, her resolve unwavering. "I will do whatever it takes to protect the key and my village." Unveiling placed a reassuring hand on Amani's shoulder. "Remember, you are not alone. The spirits of the forest are with you, and they will guide you. Trust in yourself and your abilities." With renewed determination, Amani set off on a journey to find the source of the chaos. She traveled through dense forests and across towering mountains, facing numerous trials and tribulations along the way. She encountered spirits and animals, each with their own challenges and lessons to impart. One day, as she was making her way through a particularly treacherous part of the forest, Amani came face to face with Esu. He stood before her, his grin as wide as ever, his eyes glinting with mischief. "Oh, Amani," Esu said, his voice dripping with amusement. "You've done well to make it this far. But your journey ends here." Amani stood her ground, her eyes blazing with determination. "I will not let you win, Esu. The key's power must be protected." Esu chuckled, his laughter echoing through the trees. "Very well, keeper. Let us see if you are truly worthy of your title." With a flick of his wrist, Esu summoned a wave of chaos. The ground shook, and the air was filled with a cacophony of sounds and sights. Amani felt the weight of the key in her hands, its power throbbing through her veins. She closed her eyes and reached out to the spirits of the forest, calling upon their aid. She felt their presence surrounding her, lending her their strength and wisdom. With a deep breath, Amani opened her eyes and faced Esu. A fierce battle ensued, with Amani and Esu locked in a struggle of wills. The forest around them seemed to come alive, with trees swaying and animals watching in silent anticipation. Amani drew upon every lesson she had learned, every ounce of strength and determination within her. In the midst of the chaos, Amani felt a surge of energy from the key. She realized that the key's power was not just about containing chaos, but also about channeling it. With a newfound understanding, she focused her energy and directed it towards Esu. A brilliant light erupted from the key, enveloping Esu in its radiance. The trickster god let out a howl of surprise and anger as the light consumed him, banishing him from the forest. As the light faded, Amani collapsed to the ground, exhausted but victorious. The forest around her seemed to sigh in relief, and the spirits whispered their gratitude. Unveiling appeared before her, a proud smile on her face. "You have done well, Amani. You have proven yourself to be a true peacekeeper." Amani smiled weakly, her heart swelling with pride. "Thank you, Unveiling. I couldn't have done it without the spirit's guidance." Unveiling nodded, her eyes filled with warmth. "Remember, Amani, the balance between order and chaos is a delicate one. You must always remain vigilant and wise. But know that you have the strength and wisdom to protect the key and your village." With those words, Unveiling faded into the shadows, leaving Amani to make her way back to the village. The journey had been long and arduous, but Amani knew that she had grown stronger and wiser. She had faced the trickster god and emerged victorious, and she was ready to fulfill her role as the peacekeeper. As she approached the village, the villagers rushed to greet her, their faces filled with joy and relief. Nokutala stepped forward, her eyes shining with pride. "Welcome back, Amani," Nokutala said, her voice filled with warmth. "You have done us all proud." Amani smiled, her heart brimming with happiness. "Thank you, Nokutala. I will continue to protect the key and our village with all my heart." The village erupted in cheers and celebrations, and Amani felt a deep sense of fulfillment and purpose. She had faced the chaos within and emerged stronger, wiser, and ready to embrace her role as the peacekeeper. And so, Amani's legend grew, her story passed down through generations as a testament to the power of bravery, wisdom, and the unbreakable bond between humans and the spirits of the land. The key remained safe, its power contained and protected, and the village of Ubuwakhe flourished in harmony and balance. In the heart of the verdant African savannah, the legacy of the peacekeeper lived on, a shining beacon of hope and strength for all who heard the tale. And Amani, the brave and curious girl who had become a guardian of ancient power, continued to watch over her village, ensuring that the delicate balance between order and chaos was maintained for generations to come.